boys and girls, we've got double transfer trouble. We've got, quadruple in many respects. 2 going out and 2 coming in. Now, I must pre-warn you here that there may be some confusion. I've got to pop the picture up of one of these guys. He's called Jota. We've spoken about him before. You may be confused thinking it's George Michael. The likeness is quite uncanny. Look, there are a lot of careless whispers going around that we might sign this Jota. We were linked with him last Christmas. I guess we just got to have a little bit of faith that we'll sign him, and hopefully we'll be able to bring him in before the sun goes down. I'll get me coat. But as if signing Jota wasn't enough, we've also been told that, you know, the guy Ibrahim Osman, he's the one that plays at Denmark or Norway, somewhere in Scandinavia. We're not exactly sure. We are. It's a joke. So is the Dutch thing, by the way. We've been told we've got to pay another £3 million for him. £3 million. So that will take it to 18 million. Does seem an awful lot of money for someone that's untried and untested. I don't believe the Brighton rumour, by the way, and I'll tell you why. This guy plays predominantly off the left-handed side, and apparently, what was his name? Valentin Barco, good player, really good player. He can play left wing or left back. They've also got Ansu Fati, who's remarkably slim, actually. They've also got him to come back very, very soon as well. So I'm not sure. He can play off either flank as well. Not sure how much I believe. I'm not sure there's the competition of Ibrahim Osman signing that everybody's told us there will be. I think the interesting thing, I don't think it's the 3 million holding it up, by the way. Sorry, I've just got to check the microphone. I don't think it's the £3 million holding it up necessarily, but what do I know? It's the buyout clause. So not the buyout clause, it's the... they want basically a sell-on clause, that's it. So if we were to sell him in the future, they get a knock-on, they get a little bit of a throwback, don't they? They get a little bit of a trickle-down of the money, in much the same way as Pierre Ekwa, who is at Sunderland, and we sold to Sunderland. I think we got 25% buyout on him. Looks like he is going to get sold because he's doing really rather well. So, no, I don't blame them for doing it, but I think one of the reasons you invest in these players, and we would pay so much money, is so as actually the whole point is we want him to become a £50 million player or whatever it might be. So, I'm not sure how much interest there is in sort of squandering our profits on taking a risk. And make no mistake about it, signing an unknown player, well, he's known now because we've done videos about him, but you know what I mean, signing an unknown player from the Danish league who's, he's got 4 goals, 5 assists, he's been plucked from relative obscurity. Signing someone like that for 18 million is a risk. It absolutely is. So, there you go. But which brings us back to Jota. It brings us back to him because he's a really, really good player. If you don't know the story, he played for Celtic. He was brilliant. He was instrumental in Celtic's title win. Really, really skillful. Travels with the ball really well. I said about Jota, I think Jota is what side Benrahma should have been, if you know what I mean. And I think with that in mind, it would be a really, really good player to get. So anyway, he went from Celtic and went to Saudi Arabia. I think it's Al-Ittihad. I think that's the name of the club. I probably got that slightly wrong. Hey, well, wouldn't it be amazing if I managed to get the European club wrong and got the Saudi club right? So it's probably wrong. But they're the minted ones. They've got the money. They got the big bucks basically. But he didn't play. They never registered him for the squad, and I don't understand why that was. Perhaps they looked at him and thought, "Man, this is not the '80s anymore. You can't dress like that." And so anyway, I think he's got a fine moustache though, which I think is always an excellent indicator of a man's character, actually. So anyone with, as we all know, anyone with a moustache is a very, very skilled winger. So I like him. I do like him. All joking aside, I think he looks to be a tremendous player, and I'd be really excited if we were to sign him and Osman, and I certainly would think that Jota would be getting into the team far earlier than Osman would be. And that's the ideal. So I said that those are the 2 in, Osman and Jota. And this has been broken, by the way. I should probably say this. Sorry, I'm sort of nicking a bit of it. Well, a bit of his news. We knew about the other stuff anyway. But it's an update from ex-West Ham United employee, and you can go and check this out on it's the West Ham Way website. I think it's Mark, possibly Mark has written this, Mark Carlaw, a really great guy. And so he's suggested that both of these guys are coming in, or West Ham certainly want them. On the going out, well, they're not going to massively surprise you. One of them, Said Benrahma. Now, as I understand it, Said Benrahma is ready to leave. Now, we know he's suspended because he was a naughty boy. So he's suspended anyway. So I think he's already served one of his 3-match bans for kicking out kicks. I kept on saying he kicked out of someone's chest. Oh, it was a double kick out. Oh, one of them caught the geezer in the chest. I thought the other one caught him in the Niagaras. So I thought it was pretty pretty impressive, actually. I certainly found his kick-outs and his violence was far more accurate than his footballing at the moment. But I think he's a good player. Let me just say that. And I love Benrahma. I really do. And I think, I hope he hasn't soured his reputation too much. He's a hero of Prague. He really is. And I really hope he gets remembered fondly. But he's not suited to this team. He's not suited to David Moyes' style. And the whole thing about £20 million, £20 million, you haven't enough. If we can get £20 million, I'd be amazed. I really would. I know I've said it already. We sign him at what, 24, 25, something like that. If he's only depreciated in £5 million, it'd be incredible. I mean, look at his stats. Look at his stats, like the tail end of last season. I know he scored the penalty last season, this season. We're not seeing lots of assists and lots of goals. He's just not creative anymore. But I do think he's got talent, and I think he will be able to rekindle that talent somewhere else. He needs a fresh challenge, don't we all, at some point? So good luck to him. I hear I had two reports. One of them said Saïd Benrahma is close to leaving. He's cleared out his Essex mansion. And the other one said he's cleared out his apartment. Well, they're two very different things, aren't they? It's the fine detail that always interests me, because one of them says flat, all right? So I'm thinking of like eight floor flat, and I think the other one is one of them's a mansion. I mean, one of them takes a lot longer to clear out. I used to live in a block of flats in Newbury Park. Funny enough, not many people would know that. There you go. And they're very small, and I think they're easy to clear out. I'm thinking a mansion probably takes a lot more time. He's probably got the money to get a removal firm in. So anyway, he's removing his goods and himself and going to France, apparently. The other one is Pablo Fornals, old fornicador, the fornicator. We love him. He's just not. Well, we love all of them really, but he's not been very good at football recently, has he? Again, not his fault. He has wanted, depending on which website you read, let's go with a club in Spain. Pellegrini wants him back. Sevilla, Valencia, Villarreal. There's any number of them. I would imagine. I can't say on his behalf that someone said anywhere in Spain will do for Pablo. How do you know? It's quite a big country, isn't it? How do you know? Honestly. It's like someone said to you, yeah, you'll go and live anywhere in the British Isles, won't you? Well, maybe not. Anyway, so I'm sure he just wants football, and wherever I can offer him football, wherever he's wanted and loved by the fans, he'll go to. And he will be loved by the fans because he gives maximum effort all the time. And I don't think it will take long just being involved in a footballing team and playing in those sort of, just being trained and drilled in a way that is, more conducive to maybe a little bit more of a flattering style of football for him is probably going to help him out. You do feel he's had the sort of skill and the mojo knocked out of him, but there is definitely some skill there. It's just someone has to find it, and I do think they'll have a good player on their hands. And he's not played a lot of football, and I think with those players sometimes you don't have that many miles on the clock, really. I think that's fine. Funny enough, just to sort of segue into Kalvin Phillips, actually, because I do think there's been a lot of people saying, well, he hasn't played much football at all. Neither had Jesse Lingard. And Jesse Lingard didn't not work out for footballing reasons at West Ham. It's because he wanted to go back to Man U, and Man U called him back, and the whole thing was just a complete mess. Actually, I think sometimes if you've got maybe a 27, 28-year-old that hasn't got many miles on the clock, then I think that's fine as well. So I'm not too bothered about that. The injuries are more of a worry, but let's be fair. I mean, he's not, you can't have it both ways. He's not really played at Man City, so therefore he hasn't really been injured, has he? So I think it's worth a punt. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a video on 442, excellent magazine, excellent football magazine. We're going for years, one of my favourite publications actually. They've got a YouTube channel, and there's a geezer on there, funny guy actually, look, a cheeky chappy geezer. He's doing a really really excellent video. I'm quite jealous of the video actually. Wish I could do videos like that. But anyway, he's doing this wonderful video, and he's looking at all the tactics of it and how Kalvin Phillips would be perfect with David Moyes' style of football, and all the stuff, that we've said, that those of us that think he's a really good signing, but he explains why. He's not just saying, I think it'd fit David Moyes. He's explaining why tactically and technically. So it's a really good piece if you've got if you've got a spare 10 minutes. Well, of course, yeah, if you've been watching this for bloody 9 minutes, so if you've got this far, you've certainly, I'd imagine you've got another 10 minutes. Go and treat yourself. 442 YouTube channel. That's it. So there you go. I mean, it looks good. Not just Osman joining West Ham, hopefully George Michael as well. And a sort of sad farewell, if you like, to Pablo Fornals or Fornicador, the Fornicator. I've enjoyed saying that. I do love a good nickname. So we never really had one. Ben Rama, Benny. It's not a nickname, is it? So you know, we're going to be working on some more. I've got a few, but definitely. I mean, we've got to tap in, haven't we, with George Michael there, and I don't want him to change. I think this is really important. I want him to turn up with a quiff, good old quiff Richard there. I want the quiff. I want the moustache. I want the whole lot. I want the full wham bam. I won't say the rest, but I like him. It is really important. It doesn't change his look. This guy is going to be. I haven't done the thumbnail for this video yet. I'm going to look forward to doing the thumbnail. I might not even put Jota on at all. I might actually put George Michael on.